everybody. How are you today? I am very excited that you have decided to come join me for another craft with me. I shared one of these, probably about 3 weeks ago, I think it was. We had a great time creating some really simple cards. I gave you a supply list up front so that you could create the cards right along with me. Now, what I love about the Create With Me series is that any stamp set will probably work. So I've given you a supply list. It's going to be down there in the YouTube description. And I just want to encourage you guys to gather up those supplies and stamp right along with me. Are you ready to get started? I am super excited, so give me just a second. I always like to tell you, if you get a little motion sick, look away, because I'm going to move my camera over to my stamp space. So give me just a second as we go for a little roller coaster ride here. All right, get you guys set up. I'm going to hit my little reverse button if I can find it. There we go. And we'll zoom in just a touch so we can get started. All right, so let's talk about our first card and the supplies that you're going to need. Very, very simple cards, because we sometimes just need cards in a hurry. So this is the first card we're going to create. Now, as we do a stamp along with me, a craft with me, I always like to say, this is a lesson I learned from my mom: watch me first, and then you can do it along with me. So the first card we're going to create is super simple. You guys just watch me. I've got 2 more cards, and then you can stamp right along with me, all right? So we're going to be using the stamp set Queen Anne's Lace. We're going to make this super easy card. Hey, by the way, did you guys know that right now through the end of September, you can get the Queen Anne's Lace stamp set free if you join to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator on my team or one of my stampers. So yeah, if you love this stamp set, hey, let's get it for free, right? Okay, let me move this out of the way. We have got Seaside Spray, one of my favorite colors. Now, the size that you cut your cardstock is up to you. I think in my original, I did a 4 1/4 by 11, but for this one, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And I simply have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, 3 3/4 by 5. And then you're going to need a little strip of cardstock. Now, in the supply list, I told you 1 inch by 5 inch, I think. I did that so that you have the ability to cut it down to fit your sentiment. So as we're working, if you need to trim that down to fit your sentiment, just bring in your Stampin' trimmer, your paper trimmer, and you can do that. And then I am going to add a little linen bow to mine. And I also said in my instructions there that if you would like to do your embellishment at the end, feel free to come in after we're done and you can do any of your embellishing. All right, 2 ink pads, so easy, Seaside Spray and Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to start with my Pear Pizzazz ink. Guys, you're just going to be blown away how fast and easy this card is. Queen Anne's Lace, fabulous stamp set. I'm going to ink that up, and I am simply going to stamp that in the middle of my cardstock. I mean, how easy. You know what? I look at that. I think I actually did my original in soft sea foam, and I just did Pear Pizzazz. But hey, we're going to go for it because it's still a gorgeous color, so why not? All right, now we're going to come in with Seaside Spray. And this is a 2-step stamp. So you see we've got that. And I got to tell you, even just as a standalone stamp, it's still a great stamp. But we're going to add some Seaside Spray on top. And so let me just kind of get this lined up. This is why we love our photopolymer. Am I right, guys? We love our photopolymer because it allows us to get things set exactly where we want it. Yep, I'm going to tell you, wish I had gone with soft sea foam. That's a little dark. You know what? We're going to flip it over and we're going to do this. Watch what I'm going to do. So that still has some of that ink on there. Welcome to the world of crafting. Woo, look what we just did. All right, we just did second generation. All I did was I didn't re-ink it. This is the beauty of live. We just go with it. Hey, that looks a whole lot better now, doesn't it? All right, I love it when it does that. All right, let me set that off to the side. I'm going to bring in that little piece for the sentiment. Now, I have trimmed mine down to 3/4 of an inch. and 3/4, and I think it's about 3.5 inches. You know what, before I stamp, let's go ahead and do our punching. I sometimes forget that when it comes to a banner, I really do like to do my punching first. Now I'm going to be using the brand new Banners Pick-a-Punch. Guys, I love these. It's 6 punches in one. I mean, hello, what's not to love about that? So you just simply, this is 3/4 of an inch. There's a spot for a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1 inch. All right, so those are your 3 choices there. But I've got that 3/4, and you see how it just slides right into that little nook and cranny. We're going to give that a punch. Then we can rotate it around, and we can get the other side. You know what? Before I punch the other side, I did tell you in my instructions that if you wanted, you could use your tailored tag punch, and I think I gave you a few others. Since I've got this here, I'm going to show you the other way that you can punch a banner. So this is my tailored tag, and I'm just going to use that corner, that little triangle right there, and I can just center that up, and that'll get me a little flag too. You know what else you can do? You can come in with your scissors, and I'm going to show you my little trick here while I've got this out. So what you can do is cut a little notch there straight up in the center, and then you can come from both sides. And that will also give you a nice little banner. So I wanted you to see some different versions. And you know what? It's a good thing I already have one of these done. It's because I really botched that other one. All right, so let me take my focal image that I got creative with my stamping. I'm going to take some of my Stampin' Seal. We're going to get rid of this mess. I love that Stampin' Up! Has magic 2-sided paper. Does anyone else ever have to go and use the opposite side of your paper? Yep. I like it though because it's really a good thick cardstock, and this isn't the thick white, by the way. This is our regular white. But can you see it's not, that other's not showing through there. That's working out just fine. All right, I'm going to come in now with my best wishes. Yeah, I would have stamped that there in the soft sea, or not soft sea foam, the Seaside spray. And we're just going to take that best wishes. We're going to add it right there. Let me go ahead and close up this ink pad because I am done with the stamping on that one. And now we're going to add our linen bow, and we're also going to add some champagne rhinestones. So my tip for adding a bow, I'm going to take a mini glue dot, and I'm just going to roll it into, I dropped it. Where did it go? Oh no, I can't even see it. Okay, it is somewhere, but not where I can see it. Oh my gosh, how fun. Oh no, it's right there. I thought I heard it fall and I didn't. All right, so back to what I was saying. We're gonna take that mini glue dot and we're gonna roll it into a little tiny ball. And this is great for linen thread. We're actually gonna use this same little rolling it into a ball trick on another card today. So when you kind of roll that into the ball, it allows you to add little bows like baker's twine and linen thread, and you can just kind of tuck that in there. Let's add that. Doesn't that linen thread just add just the right touch? I love it. I love it. Now I'm going to come in. I've got my Take Your Pick tool, my favorite little tool in my stamp room. And let's add a few of our champagne rhinestones, because I love me some bling, and I know you guys do too. Hey, give a shout out to my wonderful moderator extraordinaire, Brenda Paulson. Thank you, Brenda, for being here and being a part, helping me with my live so I can stamp, and she's there to answer all your questions. So guys, there we go. Simple, simple card. Let's not look at that one because that's really not the way it was supposed to look. But you know, I have to give myself some pats on the back because I did pretty good about fixing my little error and pulling in the wrong color. But guys, there is a very clean, simple best wishes card. You're heading out to the wedding shower or the bridal shower. You could make this thing in a matter of minutes. Am I right? Okay, let's go ahead and set this one off to the side. And now it's time for you guys to stamp with me. All right. my next card, I'm gonna use the flowering blooms. So remember I told you, you needed some nice long stamps. And so I thought this flower was so pretty. And then I'm gonna use the sentiment, your kindness is so appreciated. I thought that worked really well for this card. So we're gonna show you the card first. This is the card that we're gonna make. Again, simple, pretty, elegant, right? So for this one, I'm going to use real red cardstock. Again, the measurements can go either way. I'm going to go the 5.5 by 8.5. I've got 2 pieces of the Whisper White this time. All right, 2 pieces. Same thing, 3 3/4 by 5. So I've got one for the outside. I've got one for the inside. Now my sentiment, again, you're going to cut it down. Mine is still that 3/4. I believe I've got this about 4.5 inches for my sentiment. Now I'm going to go ahead, before I start, let's go ahead and get our punches done. And I am going to go ahead and use this banner Pick-a-Punch because it's fabulous. I love it. I love having so many options with it. It's a really handy punch to have on hand. Okay, let's bring in my grid paper again so we can do our stamping. Now for this card, I'm going to use my Memento Black. And then we're going to be using some Stampin Blends to color in. And where are my stamps? My stamps, where did they go? Okay, Connie has lost her mind. Where did my stamps go? You guys, your friend has she's lost her mind. I am not sure what has happened here. But you know what? There's good news on the horizon. I think I must have picked them up somewhere and didn't get them back on my table. Well, the good news is I stamped it in advance just in case I made a mistake, and I guess I just did, didn't I? All right, I stamped that flower, and let me just bring the stamp set in. So there's the flower. It has the 2 on it, and I stamped one right next to each other. And then the one for the inside, I just stamped there at the bottom. Oh, my heavens, my friends, I do not know what to do with myself. I am a hot mess. Oh, by the way, I'm also going to use a little Baker's Twine black and white bow. This is from the Playful Pets ribbon combo. I love black and white Baker's Twine. Okay, so let's pretend we stamped. Let's also pretend that we stamped the sentiment. Oh, I'm so glad I at least had those prepped in advance because I'm losing it. All right. We're using Stampin Blends, and I'm going to be using Real Red and Shaded Spruce. But guess what? I'm actually only going to use, for this card, I'm really just going to use the dark. I think I'm just going to do this with the dark red. And I've got my grid paper underneath me. And you guys, jump in here. Tell me what you're coloring with today. Are you using Stampin Blends? Are you using your Stampin' Right markers? I love, you know, and I know I've said this before to you guys, I used to hate to color. It was just, ugh, oh, I just did not like it at all. But since I discovered Stampin' Blends, I found I really, really enjoy it. And so, yeah, I'm going to try as I color here to jump in here and see if you guys are responding and telling me what you're coloring with today. So, all right, so while I'm coloring, I do want to remind you guys that if you have not subscribed to my channel, this bright red color reminded me that there's a bright red subscribe button up in the corner that you could click if you ever want to watch me again now that, Connie didn't even have her stamps ready. I wish I knew. I probably set them off on the other side of my desk. I have a split desk, so I have a giant shelf right in the middle. So yeah, I kind of can't get to the other side at the moment. But I probably did it while I was trying to, like I said, I did want to have these prepped just in case I did something horribly wrong, like, I don't know, spilled my coffee on it or something like that. If you guys remember on my last live, I was telling you how I went to shake the creamer for my coffee, not realizing I'd taken the lid off of it, and I had creamer everywhere. All right, so there are my red flowers. Let me go ahead and get these as well. So yeah, I hope that you guys are coloring along with me, or you're gonna go, oh my gosh, Connie, find something else to do. We're gonna get these colored in real quick. But remember, today's video really is all about getting the opportunity to craft together, because I know I really miss having crafting time with my friends. So look at this last one. So again, since I'm just coloring, I'm going to give you my other reason why I'm probably just a little not with it today. I'm due to have surgery tomorrow on my shoulder. I'm not going to get into all the gory details, but yeah, I got to have a little shoulder surgery. So actually, and since I'm still coloring, I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know that I will have to take a break from the YouTube lives for just a little while because of the surgery. I mean, it's going to be hard to stamp when you've got your arm in a great big sling, right? Okay, so you can see I'm just taking the shaded spruce. This is the dark. I only used the dark shaded spruce and the dark real red. And I'm just kind of coloring in the stems and these little leaves. All right, that's pretty easy, right? Okay, so we've got that done. Let me go ahead. We're going to add this to the front of our card. Find my, oh, you see, that's why we want that grid paper underneath us, for sure. So we'll get our Stampin' Seal. And I know I've heard from some of you, you've got a love-hate relationship with the Stampin' Seal. I'm telling you, once you get the hang of it, you're going to love it. It's so strong. It's such a strong adhesive. It's fabulous. But I'm going to tell you, the trick is to use a really light touch and hold it straight up and down. And I find when I do that, and I don't press really hard, when I press really hard, that's when that, well, like I just did, that's when my love-hate relationship comes in. But yeah, if you'll just use a really light touch, it just glides on perfectly. But you're gonna be so happy with how strong the adhesive itself is. Okay, so there's the inside, there's the outside. I've got my sentiment here. And again, we're gonna use some Stampin' Dimensionals. And we'll get our backings off. And then this is just simply gonna adhere. I want a little bit of those stems showing underneath. So we'll go about right there. Nice. Okay, now for that baker's twine bow. You guys just saw me do this trick. Not well, but you saw me do it, right? All right, we're gonna roll this into a ball again, and hopefully I can hold on to it. All right, let's see. We're gonna add this right up here in the corner. Kind of, yeah, that looks good. There we go. I'm gonna trim down. Let me grab my scissors over here. I'm going to trim down my baker's twine because it's unraveled. Ooh, oh, what on earth did I just do? I'm telling you, I am one hot mess. And I'm a hot mess because so far the communication between my doctor and the hospital has not been going the way it should. So I'm kind of like, well, it's been close to 20 years since I've ever had a surgery. So I'm probably just, I don't know, out of the loop. Maybe it's always supposed to be this way, but yeah, it's been a little frustrating trying to figure out what's supposed to happen tomorrow. Hey, I'll just show up and, you know, hope they get the left shoulder, not the right or something. All right, we're going to add some rhinestones. These are just our rhinestone jewels. So these are the silver ones because I thought that would look really nice with that real red. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, very pretty card. Now, I want to share with you here, it looks like maybe I did use the shading and I used both the light and the dark. But you know, sometimes with Stampin' Blends, you just want to color and you don't want to have to think about the shading. So just go with one shade, light or dark, either way. All right, second card done. How many of you guys are stamping with me? Are you ready for one more? All right, let's see if we can get one more going here. And I got to tell you, this one is my favorite. This one, we're going to use a stamp set called Press On. And I love it because it's coffee themed. And I Love coffee. This one is a $1 Million stamp set by a dear friend of mine, Joyce Farraco. I thought she created a great stamp set. And we're going to create a thank you gift card. We're going to take it up a notch. Are you ready? And guess what? I have my stamps here. Haha, Connie is so prepared. All right, let's talk about the supplies that you need on this one because they are a little bit different. So I do have shaded spruce as my card base. I've got my 2 pieces of the Whisper White. Remember, those were 3 3/4 by 5, so I've got those. Here's where we're gonna get a little bit different. I've got a 3 by 3 envelope, and that's gonna make a little gift card holder. Now, if you don't have these, all right, if you do not have these, let me show you. You're gonna create a little pocket, and this piece of cardstock, this is just Whisper White cardstock, 2 3/4 by 4, and I've scored it at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So 1 long side, 2 short sides, leave that side alone, all right? So I will show you how you can create the pocket if you want to make your own. But in the video, we're gonna do it with this envelope. I think you're gonna like this trick. So let's go ahead and start. We're gonna we're gonna go ahead and prep our envelope because we are gonna be stamping on it. So I'm gonna bring in my Stampin' Trimmer, and I'm gonna open up this envelope, and we are cutting it down to 2 1/4 inch, okay? So we're gonna cut that flap off, all right? That's gonna give us a nice, simple little pocket, okay? Super easy. All right, now, let me get this out of my way. And now we can come in, let's go ahead and start doing our stamping. And, I think I'm going to go ahead and start with how I'm going to stamp the envelope. We'll go ahead and get that prepped, and then we'll work on the card, okay? So I'm going to come in with that large to-go coffee cup. When you stamp this coffee cup on here, I want you to go as far over. See, there's my opening. So I want to come as far over to the left-hand side as I can, because we're going to punch a little hole in this, and I want to make sure I have room to do that. Now I've got my sentiment, hope your day is full of perks, and let's stamp that up here at the top. And again, I'm going to stay over to the left side. Now on that punch, I've got my 1 1/2 inch circle punch. Guys, it doesn't matter what size circle punch you use. Just choose one that makes you happy. It's all good. And we're just going to take a little notch. Now you see why I wanted to stamp first, punch second. Yep, we definitely wanted to make sure we were off to the side on that. So let me set this off to dry for just a minute. And we're going to go ahead and work on the front of our card. So I'm going to start with those coffee cups. See what I mean? Our other cards, we took our image up and down. I said you needed a long image, but that long image can go horizontal as well. So let's take our coffee cups. I'm going to come about 1/3 of the way down. Stamp those right there. And let me set that off to the side, kind of give that a minute to dry. My sentiment here for the inside of my card says, coffee is always a good idea. And I just want to stamp that up there in the corner. And I'll set that off to the side. Now for my sentiment, here we go. And that was also a 3/4 inch. It just kind of happened to work out that way, that all of my sentiments fit on a 3/4 inch. And let's see, that's 3/4 by 5. Whoops, got to do my punching first. I almost forgot. So let's go ahead and give my sentiments. Remember, you want to make sure that's pushed in there all the way, as far as it will go. And make sure it's staying in that little groove to make sure you punch correctly. So there's my sentiment. I like this one really long. You notice my sentiment's not that long, but I love having this great big long banner here. And I'm going to give that a cup of thanks. And it's time to color. So let me set this off to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in these little cups first. So because this is going to be a gift card, let me kind of show you. There's my gift card. There's what that little pocket's going to do. It's Starbucks. So that means I wanted to go with Starbucks colors. So we're going with our dark shaded spruce. Now this part, just have fun. And I really do hope that while we're just kind of visiting today, that you'll just stamp, color, have fun. We're going to dot all of these polka dots. And I think this is like my favorite cup because I love polka dots. You know, gift cards are always a great way. First of all, it gives us a great way that we can share our art. You know, I always love that. And it allows me to give a gift I know they'll love. My girls are crazy about their Starbucks. But I got to tell you, my youngest daughter, she's 19, and she just got her first job as a barista, and she's going to be working in a coffee shop that's called Not Your Average Joe. And the reason it's called Not Your Average Joe is they employ special needs adults. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that we love our special friends. And Jenny is actually going into special education at OU because she created a musical program at her school. And it went over so well. The administration loved it, and she absolutely loved being able to work with the special needs kids. And so anyway, yeah, she's going to start working there at Not Your Average Joe. She's very excited about that. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and bring in that real red again, and we're going to get this little heart. I want to tell you one thing about this little splash of red. Don't get tempted to color all the other stripes and in-betweens. Don't get tempted to color them red. One, it's going to look like a Christmas tree, and it's no longer going to look like Starbucks. But when you see the completed card, you're going to know what I'm talking about. I got to open up my card because I can't remember what I did. When you go to put the card together, you're going to see what I'm talking about, that it's that little pop of red that makes the card just pow, you know? And sometimes that is all you need. All right, let's get this bottom part. You know what? I should be using the thick end anyway. Doesn't take as long. Yeah, you got to love that about Stampin' Blends, am I right? That you can just kind of use both ends of the markers depending on what you need. And this time I will use that fine tip, and I'm going to get this little bit of the coffee cup right there. All right. Oh, and you know, because we just do. All right. Now, that cup looked a little plain. So how about we go ahead and bring in a real red ink pad. Remember, we talked about just sometimes there's something about a little tiny splash of color. And this stamp set does have this sweet little heart that fits just right there. Really nice, right? See that little pop? It's not enough to make it Christmassy, but enough to make it really happy. All right, my friends, we're gonna put this card together. I hope you guys have been stamping along with me. Oh, before I do, let me go ahead and show you how to create this little pocket if you wanted to, if you had to make it yourself. So remember, we scored it 1/2 inch on the 3 sides. I am gonna cut straight across. See that point right there? I just went straight across. It's called mitering. And then up here, we're gonna miter these 2 corners, just like this. All right, let me clean up my mess. And now, let's see, where did I put my bone folder? There we go. So you can come and fold these in. And do you see? You can kind of create your own too. And you're gonna stamp on it, and you're gonna come in and you're gonna give it the little punch So yeah, you can see it's gonna look just like that. So either way, but yeah, we just need to do a miter, a miter, a miter, and a miter. All right, there you go. You've picked up hopefully a brand new tip today. So you can see how our card's gonna go together. Let's go ahead and put this wonderful little gift card holder together. And since Jenny's working at Not Your Average Joe, I don't think I can make her cards with Starbucks anymore, but their colors are really fun too. Theirs are kind of, I'm going to call it probably Bumblebee is probably the closest to their color. So, all right, so there's my focal image. Here's my sentiment. Remember that sentiment that we did? I added dimensionals to the back. And we're gonna put that right underneath. Isn't that just such, I mean, I don't know, I just love clean and simple cards. They're my favorite. I have a little ribbon knot. This is from the double stitched red satin ribbon. Love satin ribbon. We're gonna press that ribbon. This time we're not rolling it in a ball. We're just gonna press it onto a mini glue dot. And we're just gonna add that right here to the side. Do you see what I mean about just the little splash of color? Yeah, it really does make a difference. Now we're going to add the inside, and then I'll show you how to add that gift card holder. So copy is always a good idea. So we've got room to write our message. So for our little pocket, let's just add that. And I do have a trick for you on the gift card itself. So you kind of want to get this over to the side a little bit, over to the left. And let me get my gift card out of here because I only had one. All right, so you can see that's going to tuck right in here, but it's kind of loose. So here's my tip. So, and this one I'm going to show you. See where that little Starbucks logo is? If I put a glue dot here, you're going to see it. But if I put a glue dot there, you're not. So we're going to press that onto a glue dot just like that. It's not going to hurt the gift card in any way, and it'll just rub right off. And now I don't have to worry about my gift card falling out. So there is my finished card. As I said, little splash of color. Let me go ahead and bring in my other two cards. So there is my touch of kindness, and I thought that one was so pretty with those reds. And this is my oh so creative best wishes. Now let's bring in the one where I actually did a good job, and I'll show you the three cards that we made today. I would love to hear which one is your favorite. Do you have a favorite out of all the cards? Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I'll tell you what, give me just 1 second. We're going to flip the camera around so I can bid you a farewell and let you know where you can find out more information and measurements on today's card. So give me a sec. A lovely view of my ceiling. Don't you love it? Thank my husband for all the work that he did. And thank you guys so much for being here. Now, if you'd like to see some close-ups of the card, maybe as you were working, you were like, well, I need to look at that a little bit differently. If you will head over to simplysimplestamping.com, or you can look down in the YouTube description and you'll see a direct link to today's post. You've got the measurements. You've got the supply list. You've got everything that you need so that you can go and create. You'll also have the complete supply list, which is also in the YouTube description, for the cards that we created today. So you can always come back later and watch today's broadcast again and create right along with me, because that's what it's all about right now. Create with me. Let's have some fun. Thank you guys so much for letting me be here with you today. I sure did enjoy it. Remember, I did tell you earlier that I do have to take a little hiatus so I can go get this shoulder worked on and repaired so that I can get back to stamping, and I can't wait. So stay tuned and be sure to subscribe over at simplysimplestamping.com as well, and we'll keep you updated on when we'll be back with the next YouTube Live. So thank you guys so much for being here. I love you. I can't wait to stamp with you guys again. Have a good day. Bye-bye.